Hey, this is Star, and I'm going to walk through a really important feature in Ginkgo that we created the platform around from sort of day one with this toolkit. It's called Areas. Areas is over here on the right-hand side of your map, and if you don't have any areas in your account, we can import them via the tables section of the platform. However, one of the great things about Ginkgo is it gives you the options to draw these areas with ease, and I'll walk through that today on this video so that you have a good sense of how to do that when you log into your Ginkgo account. So areas is a drop down with any area that you've already drawn on the map and saved as a boundary. To turn one on as an example, we'll click on this default one here called the 82nd Street bid. That's going to basically outline the bid boundaries of the 82nd Street Business Improvement District, as you can see. If I clear that, you'll see that's the boundary it sort of inherits there. And one of the neat things you probably also noticed when I clicked on this is it filters all of these metrics down to show specifically what falls within this region or this boundary that we have drawn as this area here. To show you kind of how that looks for some of these records, let's turn on the city's tax lots here, the current NYC parcels. And if I clear that and I select it again, you'll see it's actually only selecting the parcels that have an overlap with this boundary. You could see the same thing happening for your own records if you had things saved in Ginkgo. So for instance, if I turn on my own property records within my own account, you'll see these dots show up, and I can go ahead and actually make those into shapes by going into the map tools section, and there you see the shapes of those tax lots in the system as well. So areas is really key as far as a tool that takes your data, puts it into a map-based system like this, and makes it useful for running these quick analyses on records, maybe even exporting records for a specific area right here from the map. Just looking up data that's designed to be put on a map and used that way. So that's what the areas feature enables you to do. Now let's dive into how to create an area within your Ginkgo account here. I'm going to go ahead and clear the one that we have. We can minimize this toolbar over here. And I'm going to just turn everything off. We're not going to show the business improvement districts. We're not going to show the parcels. We're not even going to show our own records for the properties here. We're just going to turn all of this stuff off. And I'm going to draw an area. So to start drawing an area, you click on the new area button up here. It's this big blue button. And let's just draw one that goes further up the street, almost like a corridor, down to the end of 82nd Street here. As you can see, I'm not actually putting my mouse down and dragging it. I'm just clicking. And the more I click, the more points I get. So you can select one of these points after you've clicked to add it, and you can drag it around. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just dragging that point around. And once I have something that looks, kind of like the area that I'm going for here, I'm just going to go over here and click Done. And then Save. You'll see it's already kind of run the metrics on the number of parcels, the median household income, housing units, whatever I wanted it to track for us here. So let's just save this as a 82nd Street example. Awesome. So it just saved that area. You'll see it now in the drop-down menu here. We've got our 82nd Street bid, which we looked at earlier. We've got our 82nd Street example area here. And another thing to point out is that we actually have these alerts in Ginkgo. So you can subscribe to certain data sets to be alerted about when records are added or updated in these data sets via the subscription option down here. So we've got 311 data, we've got recently issued certificates of occupancy, C of Os, we've got road inspections, we've got housing code violations. You'll get all of that filtered from the citywide data set that New York City provides for just this area alone, which is super handy if you don't want to be, combing through a citywide version of these data sets. You just want to see it, 311 alerts, for instance, for this small section of the map. That's what Ginkgo will enable you to do with this alerts feature over here. Okay, one more thing to point out with areas. If you want to edit or duplicate these shapes, you have the options in Ginkgo to open up the editor for that area. You can see you've got an option to download the GeoJSON for this shape that we've drawn. You've got an option to sort of change the color if you wanted to, and then you also have an option to update the shape itself. So I can click on Edit Shape, and I have these dots that I can click on, or squares, and as you can see, I can basically come in here and modify my area on the fly like that. When I'm happy with how I've changed things, I'll just click on Done here, and then you'll see the metrics will update. We'll have a new area. Let's say I want to actually create another one of these shapes that's a little bit more similar to my first one. I can do that as well by clicking Duplicate. I can name it 82nd Street Example 2, and then maybe we'll give it a different color so we can differentiate. And then I can just go back, and if I double click on each of these squares, it removes the square, or removes the point. To show you that again, like if I drag that out and then double click on it, it will remove it. So then I can click Done, and I've got both of my areas now. I've got my 82nd Street area here. Oh, you know what? I didn't save that, did I? So let's actually do that again. Go hit Duplicate. We'll say 82nd Street Example 2, and we'll go ahead and do our color to differentiate. Edit the shape, double click, done, and then save. Boom. There's a third step to saving that duplicate area, just so it keeps track of it. So now I've got my two areas here. And there you have it. I think that's really where I'll leave it here. If you do need to delete areas, there's a simple little delete option here. It will pop up a dialog to confirm that you want to indeed delete that. So I'll do that for both of these now. But I think you've got what you need to get in here, start to draw some areas, work with your existing areas, set up alerts, and start to utilize data in a geospatial way.